joke? Are you kidding me, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa? Do these Muslim dead bodies mean to you biological weapons? Come on, can you really do that to your own citizens just because they are a religious minority? 20th December is International Human Solidarity Day. But on this day, I would like all of us to think that are we actually expressing our solidarity, especially on this day that what is happening all around the world? Are we expressing our solidarity for one another? Well, it is the high time to think about so, and that is why I would like to say that I do hereby like to express my annoyance and my anger and my frustration to the Sri Lankan government, while outrage is mounting in Sri Lanka after 15 Muslim coronavirus victims, including a baby, were cremated against contravention of the Islamic funeral. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Health authority in Buddhist majority Sri Lanka insists that all of the victims of COVID-19 must be cremated even if they are Muslims. Sri Lankan Muslims have been left stripped of their human rights. Cremation in Islam is contemplated totally prohibited. It is considered blasphemous, it is wrong, and it is disrespectful. And it is something that must be avoided at any cost. It is against the honor of humankind to be treated after his death against his religion. Quran speaks about it in Surah Taha, verse number 55. وَمِنْهَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ وَمِنْهَا نُخْرِجُكُمْ تَارَةً أُخْرَى. And this means that we have created you from the soil, and we will return you into it. And from it, we will bring you back again. So, Muslims, cremation must be avoided. When the outbreak of the COVID-19 first appeared in March, the Sri Lankan government started forcibly cremating the Muslims under the guise of COVID-19, despite call to respect the religious sensitivities of their families. Now that a second wave of this COVID-19 is arriving in the country, Sri Lankan government has intensified this crackdown on Sri Lankan Muslims, while forcing larger number of families into the cremation of their dead relatives. The most recent case at this time involved a 20-day-old baby who died after allegedly testing positive for the virus. But the mother who was nursing the baby and also the father actually reported negative for the virus. The parents were left absolutely distraught that their preferences were dismissed, and the baby was taken away from them to be cremated against their will. Astaghfirullah, na'udhu billah. The parents has lost their baby on December 8th, and even before they could process this devastating news, the authorities were ready to hand over the ashes to them. Dear viewers, this is the reason of outrage of myself and the Muslims in Sri Lanka. In Islam, to cremate bodies is to condemn them into hell. More shockingly, several of the Muslim bodies were cremated by the Sri Lankan authority had not been actually tested for the coronavirus, and some even tested negative for this pandemic. Sadly, some Muslim families have begun disowning their dead because they do not want to be complicit in the cremations, for which they see as a sin for their loved ones. Is that a joke? Are you kidding me, Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa? Based on unsubstantiated claims the bodies of COVID-19 could contaminate groundwater, can you really do that to your own citizens just because they are a religious minority? Do these Muslim dead bodies mean to you biological weapons? Come on. Dear Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, please don't forget that the Sri Lanka is the only country which has mandated cremations aside from China. Dear Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa, you have to stop this stern measures that are being conducted forcibly under the name of protection, because it's terrifying for the Muslim citizens of Sri Lanka. Do not think of them as a minority. Treat them as citizens of your own country. You have to understand that for Muslims, burial of dead is non-negotiable religious practice. Today, they are feeling targeted, persecuted, and threatened by the manner which your government is acting on this. Dear viewers, I hope that you will also raise your voice with me to urge the Sri Lankan government, calling for the COVID-19 dead to be handled with dignity. Hence, I would like to dedicate this video to offer my deepest sympathy and condolences, along with sincerely praying for the victim Muslim families over there in Sri Lanka, and offer words of consolation. I pray for this family earnestly. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comfort the parents, and may the loss of this child be a mean for them to go to Jannah. Ameen. Thank you and Assalamu alaikum.